Hey everyone, welcome back to Just 5 Minutes. I'm Jess Taylor, and with me is Zeus, as always. Today we're making sense of something big, retrogenesis. It sounds like fancy, but really it's just this. With dementia, the brain changes sort of unfold in reverse. Think about life as a timeline, but the film's running backward.
So you're saying, Jess, it's like instead of developing, you're undeveloping. Okay, that sounds gloomy. I don't mean it like that. But like the stages go kind of in reverse. I always picture folks living with dementia. It's almost like their minds are walking backward through their own life story.
Exactly, Zeus. I see this every day in my private practice. Imagine someone you love suddenly living out their teenage years again. You'll catch little glimpses, maybe the slang, or they're acting suspicious about who's at the door, or even the way they get grumpy about a curfew that doesn't exist. I know it can seem odd at first, but if you realize retrogenesis is at play, it actually explains so much. They're not acting out, they're just, living in a different spot on the timeline.
It clears up a lot, right? I mean, when my uncle started calling me by his brother's name, it threw me. But looking at it through this lens, suddenly it wasn't so weird. He was just somewhere else in his memories. Makes those confusing moments make sense.
And it's honestly our job as caregivers or family to spot those clues, like which year or part of life they're drawing from in this moment. Then we can do something really compassionate. Meet them there instead of dragging them back to now.
And that, Jess, brings us right to validation therapy. I tell people it's basically honoring the reality your loved one is experiencing. Let go of that urge to correct, like, no, Mom, it's 2025. That never feels good. Validation is all about joining them where they actually are, even if it's 1965 in their mind and not today.
That can be hard, though, like your instinct is to orient someone to the present, but it just ratchets up the stress. So Zeus, you had a good example with Mr. Lee. Can you share that?
Yeah, sure. I visited this family caring for Mr. Lee. He'd get up every morning convinced he was late for his shift at the refinery. It's been closed 20 years, but for him, it was urgent. Instead of arguing, his daughter would just, play along. She'd ask, "Did you pack your lunch?" Or, "Traffic might slow you down today." His anxiety just melted. It's like he felt seen.
That's beautiful. So practically, if you're at home wondering, how do I even figure out which decade or memory my mom or dad's living in today? Start with listening for old stories, or even what they're wearing, or the way they talk. Sometimes it's as simple as, "Tell me what you're thinking about," or "This reminds you of when." Gentle curiosity gets you there, and then boom, you're on the same page, not fighting reality.
Yeah, and your statements matter. Try saying, "That must have been exciting," or "I see why you'd be worried about missing that bus." Keep it open. Let them lead the way.
Let's talk tools, those quick, in-the-moment strategies for when timelines start shifting all over. Our stage-based validation approach has a bunch, but here's a couple. Start by matching their mood, echo their language, and, this is a biggie, use music or stories from their past eras. That can instantly ground a person if they're feeling lost in an old memory.
Oh yeah, Jess, that reminds me. You had that client, right? The one who would get stuck in what felt like the 1940s for her? You played those childhood songs, and I swear you could see the tension just drain away.
Totally. Sometimes all it took was the first few notes from a song she knew as a little girl, or even just humming it softly while she was anxious in her chair. Music's like a time machine for the soul, I guess. Works almost every time, if you get the right rhythm or rhyme.
Here's some other tips, folks. If you notice them talking about their old job or fussing over what to wear like it's prom night, join in with a question. What was that day like for you? Or, was that one of your favorite dresses? Their language is a clue. Same for those stories they repeat. or even just asking for a coat in July. Whatever's happening, use it to guide your response. Keep an open mind and, honestly, just roll with it.
You really can lighten the burden when you let yourself enter their world, even if just for a minute. All right, Zeus, think we've packed a lot into 5 minutes. Want to sign us out?
Yeah, thanks, Jess, and thanks to everyone listening. Remember, it's totally okay not to get it perfect. Just showing up and trying to walk with your loved one is huge. We'll be back soon with more real-world tips. Take care, Jess.
Thanks, Zeus. Always a pleasure chatting. And thanks, everyone. We'll catch you in the next one. And remember, it's not about the dementia. It's about how you live.